Hello, everyone, and welcome
Hey.
to GEG Nagoya's YouTube Live on Google Classroom. This is our third episode of a six-part live, and we're going to bring you some other ones, and we'll tell you a little bit about where you can watch those later. But today, we're going to talk about Google Classroom, which is a digital classroom management tool that integrates all the G Suite tools, Google Suite for Education tools, with this learning management system, and it helps you be more efficient with your communication with students, with parents, with your colleagues. And it just kind of saves time, it saves paper, and helps the environment, and possibly helps you organize yourself as a teacher better. So if you join us, we are going to put in the chat a link to a Google Sheet. And in that chat, you'll be able to go and have a look at, now this is in the chat for YouTube. So when you have a look at that, you can click the link, and then you're going to be able to access a file that will give you a password. So you could, for example, take student 2 and log in with the G Suite account, and you can kind of follow along as a student with us if you would like. Now, before we move on, I'm just going to say a couple of other things. You can find us on hashtags with @GEG Nagoya on Twitter or hashtag GEG Nagoya. And you can also find us online at www.gegnagoya.com. And of course, GEG stands for Google Educator Group. And for today, we're again looking at Google Classroom with GEG Nagoya Online Live. And without my friend Gary in the Philippines here, this would not be the easiest thing to do because he is going to be our student today. And you can follow along as a student too. We'll
Yeah.
explain that again in just a moment. So Gary, please introduce yourself. Tell us about your GEG over in the Philippines.
Hi, I'm Garcia. Garcia from the Philippines. I am for GEG Ortigas, and I also joined the GEG Malolos. I'm a Google innovator and trainer too.
Fantastic. And Gary is very, very active actually in the GEG community. So I will remind you, if you could please go to the chat, and you're going to see a doc from GEG Nagoya. It's actually a spreadsheet. What I'm going to do is share my screen with you right now, just so you can see exactly what I would like you to do. And I might do this 2 or 3 times throughout the broadcast, just in case somebody else joins. So very quickly, if you have just joined us, if you click on the link in the chat box, you're going to see this spreadsheet, which is open to anybody with the link. Now, Gary there has got student number 1. So I recommend maybe you go down from student number 10 down to student number 2. Try to log in with one of these accounts, and basically you just copy, and then you go to Gmail, and you would paste this in as a login, logging in with a separate account, and your password would be equal to the name in the account. So you might be student 2. And I see we have a couple of people logged in right now or looking right now. That's great. Now, this class code you're going to use later, so you don't really want to close this spreadsheet just yet. Now, we're going to give you a little bit of time to copy whether you're student 2, student 3, or 4 or 5. We've actually got up to 10 that are already ready to go. If you want to go up to 20, we might need to give you one little more piece of information. But go ahead and do that. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I'm going to bring it back to Gary and I. So as you do that, we'll tell you just a couple more things. All right. And again, Gary's coming at you from the Philippines. He's acting as our student number 1. And you can find us in Nagoya. We have an event coming up on November 24th. It's called EdCamp Nagoya, and it's a participant-based event where you can come with other participants, maximum 35 for this event, where you decide the topics you want to talk about on the day. So people will decide the topics. We break off into small little groups and have a series of sessions during the day. It's completely free to join, and it's going to be in downtown Nagoya in Fushimi. So have a look at our Facebook page, our website, and Twitter, and we'll get that information to you. It's already online, but have a look because we'll keep posting it. EdCamp Nagoya. Google it, you'll find it. So hopefully that gave people a little bit of time to get set up with an account. if you're having a little bit of trouble, just go into the chat box. Kim had just said, hi, Kim. Kim says, no Chrome, does that matter? It should work with Safari. So let's, if you're having trouble, post again in the chat box. So going back here, I'm going to share my screen now and kind of show you how you're going to access. In fact, maybe we'll get Gary to start, because Gary is already on Google Classroom. So once you've logged into your account, we're going to get Gary to share his screen. And Gary, if you could, can you go up to your apps launcher and then click on the boxes and then choose Google Classroom? But let me get your screen shared here first. Or if you could share your screen, that'd be great.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to add your screen. So, Gary, you've got the floor.
So I have now in Google GEG.
Can you go to the apps launcher and show how people can get there?
Google Classroom.
Well, actually, let's go right back to to your Gmail.
So there's
your main account page. Yeah.
Okay. So for example, if you're in the main search engine, you can use the app launcher on the upper right corner and look for Google Classroom.
So can we tap on that just to see what it looks like when it drops down?
Okay, let me do it again. So here. And then you can just scroll down. If it's not there, there you go. So just click on Classroom, and then you'll be pointed to Google Classroom. Now you have to sign in using your the provided account by Nathan. So I'm on the other window. I'm using the Cognito window, which I make use of the student one. So I'm now inside the Google Classroom.
Okay, so that's what you're going to have to do. All right, Steve just said hello, so we want to say hi, Steve, there in the box there. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen right now, if that's okay, because I'm going to show you the teacher view, because we're teachers that are joining in here. So I'm going to click on share my screen. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, again, this is my Gmail account here, okay? I've got my classes open, but I'm going to close those. And like Gary did, just the same thing the student does as the teacher. I'm going to click on my apps launcher. I'm going to go down to Classroom. I'm going to wait for that to load. And this view of Classroom is actually very similar to what students get. They'll have a list of classes that they're in. So this is the class that we're working with right here. And so you notice we've got 9 students in there. So I'm going to click on that, and that's going to open up. And I'm just going to bounce right back to StreamYard here to see how we're doing. Great. If people are not having a problem in getting logged in, if you are having a problem getting logged in, then what we'd like you to do is please put something in the stream on YouTube. Gary will be able to see that within StreamYard, the app we're using today. So now basically, this isn't exactly what it looks like. It's almost exactly what it looks like when you start your class. In fact, why don't I show you what a class looks like when you start it. Now I'm in the teacher mode. So in the account you have right now, that's the student mode. So you won't be able to create a class, but you'll be able to join one. But as a teacher, I can click the plus button, and then I can click create a class. I can join another teacher's class in my school domain. But if I click create class, I put my information in here, subject, section, room, and the class name. And then you're going to get these little blue or whatever theme they give you. That'll come up, and then you can start working in your class. I'm not going to make a new one now because we're working in this one. So I'm going to click here, and voila, we're in Google Classroom. Now, one of the first things you're probably going to want to do is set up your class. Now, If you want, you can select a theme by clicking here, and Google gives you some different kinds of themes based on different subjects. So if you teach English, or if global affairs or whatever it might be, you can choose the theme that you want. Let's just kind of go with I don't know, we like the world, we're global people. I'll select that. And now I've got a new theme coming up. I will point out, though, you can upload your own photo if you have something that you prefer as well. Now to point out how you're going to join this class, excuse me, got a little cold going on here. Now, if you've gone as far as clicking here, clicking on Classroom, and then getting the option to join a class, you're going to need a class code. So I'm going to go back here to my classes. When you've clicked on Google Classroom, it's going to give you a couple of things that say, join a class. Are you a student? Are you a teacher? Please choose student. And you can click on a plus button that says join a class. And then you're going to click join. And in here, it's going to ask you for a class code. And I might have already added you to the class if you're student 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. But in Classroom, what you're going to want to do is either have the students go to Classroom and type in this class code, 39Q4Z1H, and you can project this on your wall, or you can email it to them if you want. Or if you want, you can go up to this tab here called People. Remember, we're still setting our class up here. Now, let's say I want to add another teacher. I would just use the human icon. I would type somebody's name. So Jerry Gay Garcia at gmail.com. I'm sure that's okay, Gary. And there he's popped up. And I'm going to send invite. Oh, and I can't because he's not in the domain. So remember, you have to be in the person's domain. I'll probably add Gary to my training domain because we do this stuff together. Now, for students, what you can do in the same way is click on plus. And if the student is in your domain, you should be able to type their name. Let's go student 7. And I'm going to go at gtrainerdemo.tech. Look at that, student 7 at gtrainer. Whoop, then I go tech. Techtrainer.com. Excuse me. And I'm going to now click this invite button. And now that student has been invited. And then when they log into Classroom next time, they will be able to choose. And if we go down to student 7, oh, I didn't put student 7 in here. Whoops. But you'll see here it says invited, right? People have been invited, and they'll get the same thing here. So I'll come back to people a little bit later, okay? We're going to bring you into the stream. And if you can just bear with me for a moment, I want to go back to YouTube here and see that we haven't had any changes. Everyone seems to be okay. We still got our viewers, so that means we're moving right along. So what I've done is given a little welcome to the class, and I've put a little video that when you join the class, everybody should see. So welcome to the class, everyone. And I put a little Classroom 101 video. It is a Google video. But just to see if people are actually in here right now, I want to share something with my class. So when I made this post that you see here, which 3 little dots on the right, 3 little dots in Google always means there's stuff you can do. Dots and arrows in Google. I can edit that if I want. I can delete it, or I can copy it. We're not going to do that right now. I'm just going to say, hi, everyone. Are you here? Logged in? Now, again, I might be preparing this the night before. So with my little arrow here, I can choose to schedule my post. Let's see, do I want to do it tomorrow morning? Or do I want to do it a different day? At a different time? I can do that. I won't do that now. When I make a post in here, I can add a link, a YouTube video, a Google Drive document, or even a file like a PDF file or a Microsoft Doc. I won't do that now. I just want to see if people are actually logged in. So I'm going to click that post. And then, Gary, I'm going to ask you if you could. Can you add a comment? You might have to refresh your screen.
Yeah, I
And
have
Gary is student number
posted the comment. Great video that brings us to Google Classroom.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm just going to refresh my screen here. Oh, it says, did you see at the top? I just made a mistake. It said the stream was updated and show it. So I'm here, student 20, lovely. Were you using student 20 there, Gary?
Student 1.
Student 1, that's what I thought. All
Student
right,
1.
great. Somebody's coming as student 20 though. All right, so that's great. I'm not sure though. Have you responded to this one in this class comment right here? So you see here where it says, hi everyone, are you logged in? It says add class comment. You would type in there, whoa, hi again.
Okay, let me.
And I'm going to post. I'll point out that Gary uses this as the teacher, so he's being a risk taker here, jumping in as the student for us. Thank you, Gary.
Posted.
Great. Wonderful. Look at that. We got 2 class comments. Yes, I am here. Gary from the Philippines. We love you, man. And of course, we've got student 20 in there too. All right. So we know we got some people in here. So I think we're going to move on to the next little bit. So this is kind of how the stream works, where this is something that everybody sees. Okay. Now, if I want, because I'm the teacher, let's say student 20, or let's say myself, right? Even I didn't say something appropriate. I think I'm going to delete that. Click delete. And now I'm gone and we just have Gary there. Student 20 here too. I can go mute student 20. And that means other people aren't going to see it. Now I can just mute it to come back to it later because I maybe want to show them and say, hey, your comment wasn't so appropriate. Or I just want to delete it. I'm not going to mute it right now because we like student 20 and we're happy that you're here. So now one other thing that I am going to show is this little down arrow. And this is where you can remind yourself of what subject we're talking about and what room we're in. That should say Google Classroom anyway, but I can fix that later. So now what I want to jump into is looking at classwork, okay? Now, if you click up in the tab here, now in the past, in Classroom, you could do a bunch of stuff here, but that was confusing people. So here in classwork, as the teacher, this is where you create stuff, okay? Now, I've already created a topic in here called quizzes because I was just kind of playing around a little bit earlier. Before I create anything, I want to show you and bring your attention here to Google Calendar and to Class Drive folder. So if you click on Google Calendar.
Hi, Tanya. Hello.
Oh, we got some stuff going on there.
Yes, I can hear you. Hello.
All right. So if you were to click on Google Calendar, any assignment that you make here is going to appear here in Google Calendar. So we're not going to do that now. We're going to show you in a little bit after we actually create assignments. But I want to point out here too is Class Drive folder. Now, something that you may not have noticed is that when you join a class in Google Classroom, it automatically creates a classroom for you. I'm going to show you what it looks like for me as the teacher. So if I click up here, whoops, and I go to Google Drive, you can see I have a folder called Classroom. That was automatically made for me when I created the class. So here's the GEG Google Classroom demo. This is the class that we're in. And this is a training class I prepared last month. So I'm going to close that and go back here. So you can either actually go up to Drive, right, your apps launcher, Google Drive, and then look for a folder that says Classroom, because in a very few short moments, there's going to be stuff in there for you. Now, while you're in Classroom, you can do that too. You can just click on the Classwork tab, and you can go up to Class Drive folder. And here, I'm going to get the teacher view. Okay, so this is something I had made here. So anyway, we'll see as things kind of develop in a little bit. So I'm going to go back to Classroom. So let's create something, okay? Let me make some material for you. So let's say we're going to do an assignment maybe on writing paragraphs. I'm not going to give the assignment right now. Actually, yeah, maybe I'll just give you some material first. So I click here and I choose, maybe I have a second class I want to send it to. So I'm going to tap on that and it's like, hey, I've got 2 sections of the same class. So now I can send this once to both classes at the same time. It's fabulous. If I do that, though, I can't get all students. And that's simply because I don't have other students in this class enrolled. So I'm going to take that off just for the sake of showing you that maybe this assignment is only for 4 or 5 students. It's a makeup assignment, or maybe you've differentiated your instruction. So I could check off all students, or I could just say I'm going to give it just to student 18 and 19. For this, I'm going to check off all students. So here I'm going to put paragraph writing, and I put my description in there. I'm not going to make a lengthy thing here, but let's say I don't have a topic for this, because a topic here on the left side helps you organize. So I'm going to click topic, and I'm going to click create topic, and I'm going to call this writing skills. And that means everything I do with writing in my class is going to fall under that topic. Now, I've gone up and I found, whether this is a good website or not, for the sake of this demo, I'm going to make a copy of that. And let's say I want to give you a link to a website. That's going to give you a little bit more information. I can add a whole pile of websites and YouTube videos and Drive folders and things like that. In fact, I'm going to add a Drive folder because earlier I made. So I'm going to go into, I can even look at my recents, or I can go into my Drive. And this is my folder where I made my demos. And I'm going to click on paragraph writing. And so now I've got this paragraph writing document that you're going to be able to see. So I'm going to click, let's see, just double check everything's there. All students are going to get it. Yay. Paragraph writing, description, writing skills, link, and I'm going to click post. So now you see I have a second topic, and I've got 2 topics here. One is quizzes, one is writing skills. And if I go here,
So
I can edit
basically,
that.
Nathan,
Pardon me? Okay, so what I'm going to do is go back to the stream.
basically,
Okay, so I got classwork here.
Nathan, we can provide everything for the student, a reference for.
You're cutting out a bit on me there, Gary. So I'll finish what you were saying. Yes. So now I can put things for students in Google Drive, and that's a very important point. So the teacher can actually create documents and put them in another student's Drive folder if they're a member of this class. I'm going to make one more. I'm going to go back to classwork, and I'm going to make one more thing. I'm going to make an assignment because I want you to see how this looks too. So I'm going to click on assignment. And this assignment is going to be, if I could just remember, let me jump in here. Yes, we're going to do assignment 1. No, assignment 2 I'm going to choose. So paragraph, my poor typing, writing. I'm just going to put complete the assignment. Normally I would put something longer here. I'm going to make it worth 100 points. I'm going to give it a due date. Let's say it's due tomorrow, Halloween, lovely day. And I'm going to create a new topic, actually. I'm going to put this as assignments or writing assignments. For tomorrow, if I want just to point out, you can choose the time as a date as well. If you want them to submit it by, say, midnight or something like that. So it's not just by day, it's by time. And let's say I want to add that paragraph writing link again. That's going to help you. So I'm going to add that link. Maybe I'll add a YouTube video, maybe another Drive folder document. Now, here's the thing. For this assignment, I want the students to use the same template, but I don't want to make copies of that template 40 times. So I'm going to go down into Google Drive, and I'm going to choose the template I made, which is this one right here. Very, very simple. I'll call it assignment 2, actually. It's paragraph writing. And you're going to see some magic here. This is very, very, very important because this is one of the main features why teachers love Google Classroom. I can choose whether students can view this file, or I can choose whether they can edit the file. So we can all work from the same document, just one document, and they can edit. Or I can make a copy for each and every student. And because what I want you to do is to write your paragraph in this particular document, because you and I both can edit. Nobody else can see it. And I don't have to waste time making 500 copies. So I'm going to click make a copy for each student. I'm going to check my down arrow. Do I want to save it as a draft and come back to it later? Or do I want to assign it to my students? I think I'm going to assign it. So I click assign, and it says assigning, assigning, assigning. And now you see I have yet another topic in here. I've got assignments, I've got writing skills, and I've got quizzes. I've got nothing in quizzes because we'll show you later. But I want to go back to the stream, and then students will notice that Nathan Gilder posted a new assignment, paragraph writing. So there's new material. That means it's resources. New assignment means paragraph writing. And of course, if you tap on it, I can look and see, have the students actually opened up and looked? I can go in. So if Gary's as student number 1, if he's going to start working on that document, now don't go there yet, Gary, because I want you to show people how to do this. I'll be able to click and have a look. So I'm going to go to student 5 actually right now. Hold on one sec there, Gary. Oh my goodness, student 5, they haven't done anything yet. Let me just close this up. Let me just close that. This is where I'm going to show you a little bit later after Gary does some stuff. Well, this student just hasn't done their work. Oh my goodness, what do I do? All right, so now I'm going to go back to my classroom. I'm going to close that. I can go back and look at my instructions if I want, but instead I want to go back to the class. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and I'm going to ask Gary to share his screen so he can show you what it looks like. Well, you know what it looks like on your screen, but he's going to show you where to go. So, Gary, if we could get you to go to share your screen, and if you could please show us where you're going to go to find that in Google Drive right from the stream. Start at the stream in Google Classroom. Okay, and in you go.
Okay, from the stream, to work on the assignment given by Nathan, we have to go to classwork and then go to, this is the second one, the assignment. So let's go to assignment. And then let's view the assignment. This is the first, this is the first assignment. Now we have the second assignment, which is the writing skills. So I think this is the first one, right? This is the first one.
That's it.
Let me go back to it. But this is the first one.
So this first one,
I need to go back to the.
This is a good.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, that first one, I put that in there because that gives an example. Maybe I should have put it in a second time in the assignment because it tells you how to write a paragraph. So I made a bit of a mistake, but that's okay because I can go back and edit it. So I'm going to do that now, actually, while you keep explaining.
Okay, so let me go back to classwork and then go back to writing skills. So you can just simply click the link or the paragraph writing under the writing skills, and then you'll have the document or the template. Now, while Nathan is working on changing the settings, later on, we'll be able to make our own copy. So basically what Nathan is saying earlier is that if he assign it to us as each student will make a copy, it's basically the same as sharing the document wherein you need to ask your student to click file and then make a copy. But instead of instructing or giving additional instruction for students, what you can do is put it in Classroom, and then it will be automatically done for us by Classroom. So we don't need to instruct students to make some steps like make a copy of the document. And basically, when you do it in Classroom, it's automatically saved in the Google Drive folder where everything is saved. All students' output are being saved. Right,
Okay.
Nathan?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So now, though, if you can go and open the assignment and then show them, because I'm going to get you to do something with that assignment.
Okay, assignment, and then I'll go to the paragraph height.
Let me see that I gave you the right one here. I could have possibly.
I
So,
think you.
no,
It's
actually, I
still
gave you
can.
the. It's calibrating, maybe, right?
Yep. Let me refresh it.
Yep. Now we want to go. Actually, we want to go to not the paragraph writing new material, but go to the new
All right.
assignment paragraph writing.
New assignment. Okay. Let me go back to classwork and then
And while
what's the
Gary
name
does
of that?
that, what Gary does that, let me point out as well that your students will get an email. So if you actually go to check your Gmail stream with this demo account that you're using, you're going to see, or you
Mhm.
should see that there was
Oh,
that you were
a
sent
share.
a message. Okay,
An
so Gary,
update. Let me go back. Let me visit my Gmail.
okay. If you go to the stream in Classroom too, though, you can get that new thing. But you're showing us how to get it from here.
Yes. So now I have this, and I only have this to email.
Okay, so it didn't come to you, but that's okay. If you go back to the stream,
Takes time. Okay, let's go
oh,
back to the assignment.
yeah, writing assignment. So assignments, and then click on paragraph writing up
Right.
above where it says assignments. Up. No, 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 no,
Yes.
no. Up. No, no, wrong one.
Yeah.
Got to get you to go back. So you see where it
Assignment.
says
First assignment.
assignments.
There we
That's what
go.
I'm talking about, right there. So now the one where it says
Okay.
the one that you can open up and edit. It says not paragraph writing, but it's got a that one right there. Yep.
Okay. And
There
then
you
this
go.
one, student one,
Yep.
assignment.
Yep.
Assignment number 2.
That's it.
Okay. Okay. Now I can modify this document.
Exactly. So
Great. Okay.
if you could go in and just type one quick sentence where it says type the sentence there.
Okay. Uh-huh. I am working on my assignment now.
Wonderful. Now, here's the thing. If
Done.
Gary has 2 weeks to do the assignment, let's not submit it yet. If Gary if Gary has 2 weeks to work on the assignment, that's great. But he might want to turn it in now. So it's all done. So you see that button up in the top right there. Gary, let's get you to turn it in or submit it. Turn in your
Okay. Okay.
now this means that Gary has turned in his assignment. Very cool. Now, he can still go
Yes, turn in.
okay. And what's going to happen is Gary's going to see that
Okay.
his assignment is submitted. So from now, you can do this yourself. Other people that are watching this, we would like you to go in, go to assignment, and then choose that paragraph, assignment 2, paragraph writing. Maybe you can scroll up a little bit there, Gary, so we can see.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
let's see. Yeah, you're not getting that because it's already been submitted, right? You're good. So,
Yeah.
sorry about that.
I have submitted.
So other people,
So
if you
I'll
can
go back here.
if you want to try what Gary just did, because I'll be able to see that you've done your assignment like good students you are. So
Yeah.
let me share my screen. So what's going to happen? Gary has, if it's not due until tomorrow, maybe later on or tomorrow morning, he wants to make a few changes, he can do that. Or if he submitted it and I can let him do some work on it again as well, that's just as fine. Now I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you what this looks like here. All right, so just going to give myself a little bit of a refresh happen. And I'm going to go up to classwork. And I want to see my assignments here. Now, actually, let me go back to the stream here. You notice here, I get the reminder, just like students, that says paragraph writing. It's due tomorrow. That means maybe I'll send an email to remind my students or whatever. I can either click here and it'll take me to paragraph writing, or I can go to classwork and click on assignments. So I'm just going to click on that, complete the assignment, blah, blah, blah. And you notice here, 2 people have turned the assignment in. That's fabulous. So if I want, maybe I'm going to just click on the 7 that it was assigned, and I can quickly see, Okay, student 18, 19, 2. Of course, it would be your real students' names. They haven't submitted it, but student 1 and student 20 did, so I can go in and give them a grade here. I'm not going to give a grade yet, though, because I want to see what they've done. So I'm going to here open up the work they've done. Let me just go back, though, because if I click here, sorry. Oh, I've clicked on my assignments. Sorry, that's not what I want to do. I'm going to go back into my demo class. Excuse me. Paragraph writing. And back to where I see all the students, right? 2 have done it, 7 have not. And I click on the 2 that have done it. It's turned in. It's turned in. So I'm going to go to student 1. We'll see what Gary did first. And I check his writing. Maybe I have a rubric built into my template here. And then I'm going to say, Gary, I'm going to give you 100. That was fabulous. I'm going to send a private comment. Gary, brilliant work. Or maybe it's going to be, Gary, you only have a 90 right now, but you have 1 more day to do the assignment. So why not work on it a little bit? So I'm going to click post. But hey, guess what? I'm going to highlight this word and I'm going to add a comment because it works just like a Google Doc. So I can click on that and go, Gary, great ending. And I click comment and there it's there for Gary to see. So here I can add comments. Here I can add a grade. Here I can actually open the document up in the larger view. If I don't like it, with that small view, still get my comments on the side once it loads. Right, so that comment that I made earlier shows up right there. I put Gray, not Gary. Sorry about that. Now, I haven't returned it yet, though, right? Notice here it says not returned. Gary got 100. I thought it was great. I can click on this, and I can return a whole bunch of submissions at the same time, or I can return this one right now. Okay, so I mark kind of slowly. What some teachers like to do is mark everything and then return them at the same time, so everybody gets the same grades, and there's no grades at the same time, and there's no anxiety for waiting. So you know what? I'm not going to return it yet. I am going to go back here, and I'm going to look at student 20. I'm going to see their work. And student 20, I think that I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree. Oh, I love it. Great. You know what? That's 105. Love it. Great work. And notice this is a private comment, right? So nobody else sees it. It's just between me and the student. So now I've got 2 students that have a couple of grades. So now I'm going to go up here. I'm going to click return multiple submissions. Now, if this is just that warning, are you sure you want to do this? I put 105 there. I wonder if that's the right thing to do. Maybe I'll untap that and I'll do it later. Now we're going to give 105. So I'm going to click return. We're going to wait for that to load. And then I'm going to go back. And now I see that 2 assignments have been graded. 7 assignments have not been turned in. And there's none that I'm waiting to grade that have been turned in. So if this said 1, that means there's 1 thing I have to grade. 7, it's been assigned, but it's not turned in. 2, they're graded. I don't have to worry about it. And the thing too, again, if I want to open the folder, I can click here and blam, it opens the Google Drive folder where I've got everybody's work. And that's all students, right? So I can go in and add comments and help them out as they go along. Absolutely beautiful. I will point out, though, if we go back to classwork, this is where that class drive folder thing is I was telling you about. So let me tap on that. So again, we're under classwork. We're looking at this, a quick way to go to the drive folder. And so here, because I assigned paragraph writing, that automatically opened up or created a folder for me. And that's another way I can look at all the students' folders. Just a really quick way to go in and see that everybody has done their work. Close these up here. I'm going to come back to here. Now, there's something that's important, and that's people called guardians. So if you have students that that have parents that want to kind of be in touch, they want to see what their child is doing, well, you can actually invite the guardians to see updates. So I'm not going to show you how this, I'm going to show you how it works, but not show you what it looks like from the phone. But here, for example, GEG Nagoya is Gary's parent, right? But if you want to invite guardians, you can click Invite Guardians, and then you type in the address, and then you send the invite. It's as simple as that. You do need their address, though. Now, I'll point out up here, we've got actions. So let's say, actually, I want to talk to one student. What do I want to do? I want to send Gary, student 1. Actually, maybe let's go down student 20 as well. I want to send you an email. I'm going to click Actions, Email. It's going to open up a nice, big, huge email window. And I don't even have to type their email addresses. I just say, great work, loved the assignments. Or perhaps that could be all the students that did not do their work. And I'm going to click Send. Or I could schedule my, my email if I want to. So that's been sent. It automatically closes. Again, that was great stuff on your assignment. Maybe I want to send it to the students that did not do their work. So I'm going to uncheck those, though, because I'm not going to do it. Now, the thing is, I want you to look over here now at grades, because I've submitted a couple of grades. So I click on the Grades tab. I see my assignment that I gave them. I can actually click on that link, and it's going to take me to the assignment. How beautiful is that? And I can see their grades right here. And if I want, I can review their submission. Again, all those dots. I can change the grade, can make another comment, right? That was a bit quick, so maybe I'll show you that again. So if I want, how did I go to 102.5? That's kind of interesting. So if I click here, oh wait, that's the class average I'm looking at. Whoops, sorry. So again, if I go down here, I can click on the dots, I can view their submission, and then I can make some changes. And here I see who has and who hasn't submitted their work. So all these people didn't do their work. I'm just going to give them a 0. I'm going to freak them out, right? Let me just be mean and keep going down here. I'm going to put those zeros in. Student 6, what were you thinking? Okay, and we're saving all of these. And I've got my class average here. And so I'm going to click on my grades here. Now, there is a feature. Because we don't have a number of assignments, we can't do like we can do a class average for this assignment. But what you'll be able to do later on is take all of your grades here, and you'll be able to export them into. Gary, we've got some noise in the background. Is that you, or is it maybe one of our other 2 viewers? Yeah, maybe if we could just mute you for a moment there. Thank you.
Better.
You good there? Here, let me just mute you for 1 sec. Great, thank you. So when you get more assignments here, you'll be able to export those into an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Sheets sheet, which is pretty cool. So I still want to show you something, though. We're not quite done yet. So we're back in our stream here. If I want, maybe I just want to check in with the class. Hey, everyone, how you doing? Just remember this, remember that. Give you a little bit of a reminder. Halloween tomorrow. Whoa. Wear your costumes. Look at that in all caps. It's pretty aggressive, right? I don't want to schedule that. I want to post it now because it's like 8:45. All right, so you should have seen that in your stream. So I'm going to go up to something else, though. Here I'm going to go to classwork. And now I'm going to assign a quiz. Now, I've already got quizzes here. So I could go here to create and use a quiz assignment. I'm going to click on quizzes, and it brings me down, and there's nothing here yet. So, whoops, sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to go back to the top here. Sorry, my bad. So I'm going to click create, and I'm going to do, I'll do a quiz assignment. We're on that. So it's going to be a 2-question quiz. Instructions, they're on, whoa, I'm in caps lock here. They are on the quiz. Let's see. I'm going to make the topic. Actually, I'm not going to make the topic because this is a quiz. I'm going to give you points for this. So I'm just going to go quizzes. It's going to be worth 100 points. I'm going to give a due date. Again, I'm going to make it tomorrow, Halloween. Let's have fun with that one. Okay. Now, here's the deal. If I want, I can create a blank quiz. I tap on that, and I can start editing my quiz right away. Now, I already have a quiz made, so I'm just going to cancel that. I'm going to go to Google Drive, and let's say I made a quiz 2 years ago. I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to choose Educational Technology. There's the quiz, just so you can view it. I've already set it up where it's got 2 questions and a point. I've clicked on grade importing because I want these grades to go into my other grades. If I want to give you some kind of supporting information, let's say Google Forms, how about this one? How to customize Google Form. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to click on that. Just put that back. So I'm going to give you that as a bit of support. So before you do the quiz, you can actually look at this YouTube video. But I will remind you that you can put a YouTube video in a Google Form quiz or a Google Form. So I've got all my information and know what it's worth. I'm going to click assign. Oh, grade importing came off. Oh, I'm going to have to go back and edit that. So let's do that. I'm going to go back to quizzes. My apologies. I'm going to edit it. And I'll get grade importing back on there. Oh, I guess for this, they're not allowing me to. And it's some areas they will not allow you to, I guess. But anyway, all right. So I would like you now, Gary, if you don't mind. I'm going to unmute you. And in the stream, it says a new assignment, 2-question quiz. So you should have gotten that in your stream or in your email. So Gary's mic is unmuted. I'm going to take myself off. We're going to go right back to Gary. And yay, Gary got 105. Good job, Steve. Or I said Gary, Steve. Oh, and are you going to share your screen there for us, Gary? I think I muted you, right? Sorry. Can you hear me there, Gary? Okay, Gary. So your mic's unmuted. Sorry about that. So Gary, can you share your screen?
Yes.
And can you go in and do the quiz? And of course, Steve and Kim are here. Can you go in and do the quiz as well? Oh, and I got to share that for you. We're getting close to the end, folks. You're hanging in there quite well. We're hoping you're liking this. We see we have a third person in the thing right now. A little bit late to get you onto the doc and that, but just kind of follow along here. If we open an account for you now, you'd be kind of confused, maybe. So talk us through what you're doing here, Gary. Hold on one sec, Gary, because your mic's muted. I don't know why. Can you unmute your mic there, Gary?
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, it's a little bit of lag here.
I am unmuted.
Okay, you're good now. You're good.
Yeah. So right now,
Gary, can I ask you to
I'm
go?
answering the quiz. Which of the following use video as main part of their platform?
Actually,
So
Gary.
Flipgrid and Screencastify.
Gary, can I cut you off?
Yes.
Can you go back to Classroom because you were muted
before
you opened the quiz? So if you could show how you got to the quiz from Classroom, that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry you were muted there. I don't know why that was.
Okay, so from Classroom, I go to let me go back to the main screen. Would you like me to go back to the main screen?
Yeah, go back to the main one. Yeah, just tap on that link up there.
So I'll go back to the main screen. Okay. And then I'll go to classwork. And then after classwork, you should see that there's a new post or the new assignment. So there's also a note under the stream that we have due work tomorrow. Okay. So we have here quizzes. So all you need to do is click on the 2-question quiz, and then you will see educational technology. So you will be, once you click the thumbnail, you'll be pointed to the Google form. So you may now start answering, let's say, for example, which of the following use video as main part of their platform. So let's say Flipgrid and Screencastify, which is the best for polling. Let's say Mentimeter, and then I'll click submit. So that's how you answer a quiz. So we can now
And
also view our score.
yeah,
There you go.
100. And you notice too, there's a little bit of feedback in there. So I'm going to go back and share my screen so you can see what it looks like for the
Yeah.
teacher. All right, so get that there, and we're going to go back to me again. All right, is that all right? You can see me? So I'm going to go back to classwork now, and I'm going to click here as onto quizzes, or I can just scroll down. So I want to see this 2-question quiz. Oh, did you click turn in there, Gary? I know you did the quiz. When you go back into your thing, you're going to have to click turn in as well. But for our viewers, I'm going to click on the quiz and kind of show you. Now, to give you the teacher view, I'm going to click on edit the form. And I'm going to click here and look at responses. And so here I've got my total response out of 3 points. I can see that we've had 2 responses and both got 100. This class is just so easy to work with. The nice thing about this is, if you give a quiz to your students, then what you can do is actually show them this data. You can project it and say, hey, look, yeah, we did really well on this, but we need a little bit of work on that. Or if people didn't really understand something, then you know that you have to go back and teach it just by getting that bird's eye view of the response for the quizzes. And in quizzes, just because we're here, you can actually download all the responses, or you can create a Google Sheet out of it. So it's a spreadsheet, nice and easy to use. So let's go back. Now I've clicked this as an assignment, and I see that people haven't actually clicked turn in. So there should have been like a turn in thing on your form up there. But I know that the students actually did the assignment, right? So student 1, I'm going to give them 100 anyway, not 1,000. Student 20, I'm going to give them 100 because I know that they got 100 on it as well. And so I'm going to click return. They should get a note that says, hey, you did really well. Private comment, great stuff. And of course, both of those students are going to get that comment. And I see here a little reminder that those things are graded. So now I'm going to go back up here. Now, let me make a point actually while I'm here. You can make this an ungraded assignment as well. Any assignments you create, they can be ungraded. That can be formative feedback that you give them with private comments. You can email your students as well. So checkboxes will help you out. Now let me go back up here to get back to our grades, right, in the top and in the right. So now you see we've got a couple of things resubmitted, and we've got the paragraph writing. Okay, so now you can see that out of 100, our students are kind of getting better and better and better. There should be a feature here where we can export the grades. I'm wondering what's going on with that. Yeah. All right, so I apologize. I think I got a problem with my screen here, actually. Let's actually go up to my... Okay, Guardian Summaries. Oh, this is one thing I want to show you in just a moment. Sorry, folks. So we'll go back to the stream. Again, the question quiz is due tomorrow. If I want to view all of the assignments, I would click on View All. And you can see I've got a bird's eye view of all the assignments that we've had. And of course, there's my to-do list. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to go back to my class. By the way, these little hamburgers in Google are really good. You click on that, I'm going to go back. Now, one thing we didn't show you with the setup is this gearbox up to the right. Now, if you click on that, this is where you can make changes to class names. You can put a class description, G Suite training, for example. And there's certain things here. So there's your class code. If you want, you can display it. You can copy it. You can reset it if you want. Let's say you have new students coming in. In the stream, you can change. If you only want teachers posting and students not commenting, you can do that. Or you could have students can only comment, which is interesting. You can show deleted items. We won't do that. Now, Guardian Summaries, I'm going to activate that, and I'm going to add a class. And so basically, this means that Guardians get an email update with any kind of work, but it's only weekly, okay? So overall grade calculation. Now, this is where you're going to click total points or weight things by categories. So we looked before that we did an assignment and we did a quiz. So what you want to do is go down to add grade categories, and I'm going to add assignment, and then I'm going to add quiz. I think I said quizzes. You're going to make a percentage. Let's make assignments. They're a really big deal. We're going to give those 75, and then we're going to give 25 to the quizzes. Okay. And so remember to save this stuff. Okay. So I'm going to click save. This is a relatively new feature in Classroom. It's really good. So let's go back up to grades. And so now, if you want to click, you can see the overall grades. All right. So I haven't got an overall grade in there, but for some reason, that's not coming up as a category. I apologize, actually. I think I'm going to have to put a tutorial video up for that. I don't know why that's not coming up. Let's go back, though, and weight it by total points. There might be something that I'm missing here, though. Yeah. Okay, so weighted by overall points, you see here that we got the points in there. So the students that submitted work, they have their grades there. Great stuff, everybody. Now, for some reason, that weighted by category did not appear here. There should have been something weighted by, well, the different category. And perhaps it's because we only have one writing and one quiz assignment in there. And that's what I figure is the issue. So if you have two quizzes, then you're going to have the category percentage grade, and then you probably have an overall grade as well. So I'm going to go back to the stream, and we are literally 3 minutes away from 1 full hour. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. And for some reason, Gary's not there. Let's get Gary in there. So that is kind of how we're going to wrap things up right at the moment. I do notice we do have a new chat. Show off. All right. You did great there, Steve. You did great. Don, I should have studied. That's what Steve says. We love you, Steve. We're going to give the second last word to Gary. First, thanks a lot, everyone, for coming out. But a big, big, big thank you for Gary Garcia over there in the Philippines. He's going to plug his GEG for you. This is not easy to do if you don't have somebody helping out. So, Gary, what do you want to say? Last words about Google Classroom, Google anything. When is your next event, perhaps online, that we can join?
Okay, for GEG Philippines, we're still in the planning process for all means. So join us for in Facebook, GEG Philippines, and I'll be sending emails to those who are with us in the previous events.
Super duper. Well, you know what? I'm actually going to add one more thing to our banner here. So we're part of a group, actually, called GEG Asia Pacific Connect. So it's all the Google educator groups around Asia Pacific. We just had a big event last week or 2 weeks ago. So keep your eyes out for this URL, sites.google.com/view/GEG Asia. Google us. We're getting enough views now. Maybe you'll find us. But we're going to do some online events just like this, but with a whole bunch of people from around Asia Pacific. We would love to see you in on this. So again, thank you very much, Gary. We really appreciate you joining in. Just one last reminder about EdCamp Nagoya.
My apologies, my internet is not so good. That's why I'm having a delay.
Gary, that was totally fine for this. It all worked out. Not a problem at all. Thank you. You're taking that student role, allowing us to show how this is done, changes everything. So Remember, if you live in the Nagoya area, maybe down in Mie-ken, Shizuoka, southern parts of Aichi, we are going to have EdCamp Nagoya, where GEG Nagoya is also helping out. You can talk to our man Steve McGuire about that if you'd like, and another guy, Chris Lober. Basically, it's an unconference. The participants come, they decide the topics of the day, and all day, well, for the afternoon, they break off into small little groups, and they drive the discussion. No keynote speakers, no corporate booths selling you stuff, which isn't really a bad thing. But because we're also sponsored by Google, you'll get a little bit of Google swag and a little bit of EdCamp swag. You do have to register, so go to the gegnagoya.com website or edcampnagoya.com, and you can register there. Only 35 people can join this, so do it soon. GEG Nagoya will be doing this online live again. So have a look at our website, gegnagoya.com, under events. We've got 3 more YouTube live events to do before the end of December, and we would love to have you jump in and join us. We're going to be talking about Jamboard. We're going to be talking about Google Sites, and one other topic that's not on my mind right now. But we would like to say thank you for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you in the future. If you have any questions, email us at gegnagoya@gmail.com. Gary, Garcia, thank you once again. Without you, this would not have flown. And everybody else for joining us, thanks a lot. Throw a last comment in the YouTube chat.